Hello everyone, I'm Forrest McFreelava and this is Speedplay Conclave number 25. We left off right about ready to hold a triumph for ourselves. We've just conquered Germany. We are going to go after just a few other places to clean up. We can't actually take what's left that we need to form the Roman Empire just yet since we have a truce. And I'm not quite ready to break that just yet. We do go ahead and get ready to attack quite a few places. We also grant a new duchy to a Muslim person who we managed to get to convert. And we go ahead and declare this first war. We're not really going to slow down for it since we've just conquered all of Germany relatively easily with that 16,000 man stack. And relatively easily is kind of an understatement on that one. It was actually a bit of a difficult slog. At any rate though, this war is looking like it'll be much easier. We're just kind of roving through. We inherit one of our viceroyalties and just start splitting it up again. Just to our Wallachian viceroy. Meanwhile, the war is going fairly well. We're just seizing all of their territories, and that really does give you war score quickly, as really makes sense that it would. We go ahead and just take all of his titles. Go ahead and search the realm for people we can grant them to. And really, it's just the standard thing at this point. We go ahead and get ready to just usurp their title. We go ahead and do that. They still have a duchy somewhere, though, which is a little upsetting because now it's not just a whole bunch of independent counties. It's still one overarching government, just like Essex will eventually take over their duchy and just clean them up a bit. I also realized that it's a rebel holding that portion of Alexandria that we don't have, so we declare war and just start funneling our forces over immediately. Now, the great thing about this is now we don't have to worry about breaking a truce. It's a new state that holds that. We can just rush over. We've already pulled 20,000 men together. We just have an amazing ability to project force at this point. And yeah, that's pretty nice. We lose a lot of men just attacking the city in the first point. Not really so many that it's going to matter, though. We still have that massive stack up in the corner. With that all said, we move our forces over to just siege more of their territories. And it's at this point that we just kind of have to really hope that we find enough territories to siege to actually make them surrender and give us that territory we want. So we go ahead and just keep attacking. It looks as though we might get fairly lucky with it as we're at 88% already. And there it goes. It looks as though they will just give us all that we need. We go ahead and evacuate our troops and we'll just drop them off. Give the territory over to a family member, the one in control of the rest of the duchy. And we go ahead and get ready to fight the Welsh. And I attempt to grant the Grand Master a territory that's de jure ours. Unfortunately, he doesn't seem to care and won't join our state. So that was kind of a dumb move. I try to get him assassinated, however, we just don't have the ability. We don't have the intrigue score for him. We go ahead and just invade Wales. That seems to be going at least a little bit better. And we just kind of charge forwards, keep occupying their territories. Really just a straightforward thing. They have a lot of troops and they just start unsieging their territory, so we have to prevent that. We do manage to catch them after quite a few provinces they managed to roll through. And now we just re-siege those territories, which I believe gives us some level of money back. And we're not anywhere near finished with our war score against them. We charge over to this way and just keep trying to attack their armies and whatnot. I have a theory that if we take out all of the territories directly controlled by the war leader, he'll give up no matter the war score. And it looks as though that's correct, because now we have managed to take it. He gave up. Now we go ahead, do the same thing. We find a family member we can grant these titles to, or at least someone who we can marry into the family matrilineally. We go ahead and just grant all these titles. This is going to be a Sweeby Catholic area fairly soon. Go ahead and grant all of these viceroyalties. We could probably hold a triumph if we want. We go ahead and attack. And yes, I'm a little upset that this little scheme of mine to take over this area just didn't really work out. It's a little sad and kind of just upsetting in a general sense. Now we don't even have direct control over the province, which is even worse because I was happy to have full control over that duchy just to avoid any issues with vassals. Now we're going to have to do something or other to just get around that, and it'll be a bit of a pain. We go ahead and start just trying to sell off our prisoners, the ones that we can at least. There's not all that many though, which is a little sad, but there are a decent amount. And since our forces are all just around, we go ahead and just keep attacking various places in order to just clean up the borders a little bit. We also revoke the county where the Knights Templar actually have a place, and we're going to, with direct control of it, just grant it to them at some point, and then just charge in and attack. Until then, though, while we wait for transports in great enough numbers to come pick up our mercenaries, we're just going to keep attacking all of these random places. And now we're at a point where we have a bit of a limiting factor going on. While I would really love to just attack the Knights Templar, we can't do that just yet because we don't have enough piety to get the Pope to give us a claim on their lands. So while we can just grant it to them, it won't actually do anything in our favor. Also, we are going to have to break a truce if we just charge right into it. However, I don't think that our emperor is going to live another 10 years, and I don't want to deal with the succession before becoming Rome. So we go ahead and do what we always do in this instance and just start launching holy wars. We're very lucky because it looks like this entire Muslim area just broke down into counties, which is incredibly lucky because that's about 100, maybe 200 piety per county we are going after, because that's a one holy war. And we do go ahead and just spin that piety very quickly, as you'll notice. We're charging over to attack them, and we also just raise our forces to go attack the Knights Templar, who will hopefully just be able to destroy with relative ease and get that province into the fold. We can't declare any more holy wars because we have armies raised, so we're just going to leave things where they are right now. We are running pretty low on money just because we have a lot of mercenaries hired. Although there we go, we managed to seize the territory. That is the last thing we need to form the Roman Empire. And now it is the dawn of a new era. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. We're not going to read the whole thing, but we are now Esto Perpetua, which I'm pretty sure just means into perpetuity. We are the Roman Empire. We lower our forces and launch some more holy wars just because they're very easy and we have the troops nearby. Now we're just going to carve through all of these Muslim areas as quickly as we can, at least in an attempt to secure what we're able to. I'm not entirely sure what direction we're going to go with this campaign now that we've reformed the Roman Empire. And honestly, I'm somewhat tempted to just try to get everything aligned as best I can, and then make it into an observe game and just see where it goes. Since if we're in control of it from now on, it's really going to just be us launching a series of ever more lopsided offensives against the various states around us. And I'm not sure if that'll be entirely worthwhile to just do. We also managed to get one of our vassals to revolt by just getting claims on all of his territories and attacking him over and over and over again, which is sensible that it would upset him, although I'm still not too pleased about it. We do go ahead and attack, though. Sorry about that. So we are just sieging out their lands. We go bring up another group of ships, and we can just rush over to their capital in northern Cyprus and just siege all of that. And with all that said and done, it's weird that we're not actually... Okay, there we go. We managed to make peace with them. We're just going to seize their territories, give what we can to family members, but it doesn't look as though we really have all that many family members we can grant lands to. Luckily, though, we do find enough, and we go ahead and just grant all these titles away, just fix up everything to be like it was, and we send all of those raised forces over to deal with this Muslim revolt, which they do pretty quickly, pretty well. We then go ahead and just lower all of them except for the retinues and charge in and just win another holy war. Now at this point I'm realizing that we have very, very little gold. We can already make the ambition to get a war chest, so I send the Pope money and then ask him for money because we managed to get him over the limit. However, he will say no now, because I guess as soon as we sent him money, he spent a little bit of it, turned down the request, and now he'll never accept the request again. We go ahead and demand a lot of money from one of our vassals, our spy master actually, which is a little bit risky. We managed to try to just bribe him back up to 0, which is good enough, although a little bit worrying in and of itself. And now we're just going to plot to kill the Pope so we can get a new Pope who we can hopefully ask for money from, as we had to drop all of our mercenaries just to not go bankrupt right then. And yeah, so we're just going to not leave this episode until we've killed the Pope, because come on, Pope, why would you just do this? This is terrible. We sell all of the remaining prisoners that we possibly could. We've sold a lot of them so far already. We're up to almost 1,100, now over. So we are making a decent amount of money. It was just a little worrying how quickly we were spending it. And at any rate, we are just plotting over and over again. We invite the Jewry in, and then we just expel them again. So now we're back up to 2,600, which is great. And the Pope's dead. And we can request money from the new Pope. And there we go. He gave it to us. So we managed to get everything back into the proper state of things, even becoming the Roman Empire de jure, not just de facto. You'll notice we lost some score because we did have to break our truce with the Knights Templar. And here is the endgame screen in all of its glory. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow, and I guess we'll kind of decide what to do with the campaign as we move forward.